All right, so Trump, of course, has signed another executive order because that's how our government works now, is through executive order. Congress does not exist. So, Trump signs executive order to remove improper ideology from museums, national monuments. So, let's see what goodies this is. President Donald Trump today signed an executive order titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Uh-huh. The document asserts that there has been a widespread effort to rewrite our nation's history, replacing objective facts with a distorted narrative driven by ideology rather than truth. This falls under the every accusation is a confession scenario because what the hell is he talking about? What history has been rewritten? And I'm pretty sure it's that white men aren't the only people who did shit. That is going to be my guess. Claiming the Biden administration fostered a corrosive ideology, Trump's order asserts that rather than fostering unity and a deeper understanding of our shared past, the widespread effort to rewrite history deepens societal divides and fosters a sense of national shame, disregarding the progress America has made and the ideals that continue to inspire millions around the globe. Uh-huh. Okay. Still no specifics as to what horribleness the Biden administration did. The order names the Smithsonian Institution specifically, saying that the directive's purpose is to remove improper ideology from such properties, including the institution's museums, education and research centers, and the National Zoo. And we still have no idea what the fuck Trump is on. The order directs that the Vice President and the Director of the Office of Management and Budget work with Congress. Oh wow, we're allowed to work with Congress? Really? To prohibit expenditure on exhibits or programs that degrade shared American values. Again, what the fuck does that mean? Divide Americans based on race. Yep. Basically, black people never did shit. It was just white men that did shit. Okay. Or promote programs or ideologies inconsistent with federal law and policy. So again, except for literally mentioning race, this doesn't say shit. It also says the Smithsonian will not recognize men as women in any respect. Right, because the only thing the Smithsonian does is hype up trans people. That's the only history that matters. This is sort of like with Trump taking over the Kennedy Center and saying no more drag shows as if that's all the Kennedy Center ever showed or something. I mean, like I said, these people have TDS, trans derangement syndrome. All right. It further directs the Secretary of the Interior to determine whether, since January 1st, 2020, public monuments, memorials, statues, markers, or similar properties within the Department of the Interior's jurisdiction have been removed or changed to perpetuate a false reconstruction of American history, inappropriately minimize the value of certain historical events or figures, or include any other improper partisan ideology. Considering this is the same government that the DOD has removed mention of the Tuskegee Airmen, removed the photo of the planting of the flag on Iwo Jima, removed any mention of the Enola Gay because it has gay in it. And, we just lazily, look for words and forget whether there's context. So, yeah, but it was the Biden administration that forced a specific ideology on history. That makes perfect sense. If those conditions are found to exist, the secretary is to take action to reinstate the pre-existing monuments. Why do I get the feeling that this has something to do with the Confederate monuments? But those are either taken down. They aren't, they aren't changed in any way. They're either taken down or not. So I'm confused. Not to mention, the Stonewall Monument was changed, so there was no mention of the very people who fucking started the Stonewall riot. So, simply because they happened to be trans. So, no. Who do you think started the Stonewall riot? Straight people? I mean, what the fuck? So, no, the only people who are changing history is this administration, not reality. Said monuments cannot, under Trump's declaration, contain descriptions, depictions, or other content that inappropriately disparage Americans past or living, including persons living in colonial times. Why was that added in parentheses? Oh, I get it. Because there were, like our founding fathers were slave owners. And of course, there are some people who think that they should be disparaged simply because they were slave owners, because, the fact that they founded the country is completely immaterial to the fact they held slaves. Obviously, some of this goes completely wackadoodle. You can point out that, okay, our founding fathers, they were our founding fathers, they did this. Oh, but they did this as well. Perfectly fine. But how is that disparaging anybody? By stating facts that these were not perfect people. Because they weren't perfect people. I can't remember which one responded with, having slaves sucks, but we'll let other people deal with that because, it's too popular right now. Which is disappointing, but especially since they kept slaves themselves. So yes, that's not disparaging people, that's just pointing out that they weren't perfect people. They did a lot of shitty things. So, but yeah, they want to present America as America never did anything wrong ever. And that the parts about America that were shitty, like slavery, I guess we're going to pretend either slavery didn't happen or claim that slavery wasn't as bad as it was. I'm not quite sure which direction we're going with that. Because we've had that, we've had Japanese internment, we've shit on Italians and the Irish because this is not the first generation who went completely wackadoodle when it comes to immigration. And that was legal immigration. But, this administration has a thing against legal immigration too, so. In recent weeks, the president sought to cleanse another American institution, the Kennedy Center, like I mentioned before. Earlier this year, Trump ousted the board of the center and had himself had named himself as its new chairman. Jesus Christ, Deadline, do you not employ editors? Among his grievances are what he calls the institution's woke programming. And like I said, that basically means drag shows. Actually, that includes cross-dressing too, because what is it called? Hairspray. Probably wouldn't be welcomed in the Kennedy Center under Trump because, the mother, well, I put that in quotes, but I think she was actually her mother, dresses in drag, is a man in women's clothing. So, probably wouldn't be accepted. And there's nothing woke about that. Unless, of course, it also shows that fat people actually have lives and can actually have a positive impact on other people's lives. So, and it's about a woman. So, yeah, it goes further down the woke rabbit hole. Since Trump's takeover, dozens of high-profile productions have canceled performances. Just today, the composer and lyricist of Fellow Travelers, an opera based on Thomas Mallon's 2007 novel about the anti-gay lavender scare of the 1950s, withdrew the work from the 2025-26 season. Oh, I'm sure Trump would have accused it of being woke. So, yeah. He probably wouldn't have appreciated it being there anyway. The producers of Hamilton pulled out of a staging next year, and comedian Issa Rae canceled an appearance, while Ben Folds and Renee Fleming withdrew as Kennedy Center advisors. In a 26-show list of total cancellations put out by the Kennedy Center earlier this month, the center notes that most have been canceled by the artist or artist availability or by the producers. Which, yeah, they are like, fuck you, Trump, and don't want to be associated with him in any way. So that's great that he didn't have to cancel any of it, but that's because the artist did it for him. Because like I said, like this Fellow Travelers, or whatever it's called, it's, Trump would have had a problem with it. Trump actually claimed he never liked Hamilton. I would venture to say he's never seen the damn musical. Now, granted, I have not either. But I'm not going to shit on Hamilton because I never saw it. So I don't have a right to an opinion about a musical I never freaking saw. So, yeah. I would be shocked if you saw Hamilton. I would be absolutely shocked. Anyway, that is the end of that article. So, yeah, basically, the only person the only side that is trying to rewrite history is the Trump administration. I can't even accuse all Republicans because I would like to think that there are plenty of Republicans who kind of like the idea of keeping their history, not showing that only white men did stuff, that trans people exist, that gay people exist, Oh, yes, and I forgot the latest one that they tried to remove, the code talkers. Because that was obviously DEI. The fact that they had an unbreakable code that the Axis couldn't break because at the time it wasn't a written language. It was Navajo. And I think at the time it wasn't a written language or recently started being written or something. So they did not. So they couldn't break the code. But obviously that's DEI. That's a bad thing. Forget the fact that they helped win the war, but why should that little tidbit stand in the way of you're not white? So yeah, Trump administration's the only one who's trying to rewrite history. Not Biden, nobody else but Trump and his administration, because they just can't handle that white males actually did shit. So, they are so fragile in their egos that they can't handle that there other people but white men might have done something. So, anyway, I'm starting to ramble. So, with that, I will see you guys in the next video.